Hey guys, a different kind of a video here today. It is not a video on Way of the Hunter, even though I am in Way of the Hunter right now. The video is actually going to be a sort of a self-help video on my advice, things I've learned, how I established the YouTube channel, things like that. I'm going to be talking about, hints and tips and things like that. I know there's tons of videos out there about how to create a YouTube channel and all that good stuff. But I have certainly my opinions on things like that. Long story short, it's actually very difficult to find a nice genuine video on it. A lot of them are based on they're usually big established channels saying this is how you do it and all this sort of stuff. But all the advice they give, even though it's sound, it's usually too general. And it's also advice, that like a larger channel would use. Very few of them are based on a super small channel just sort of starting out. Because you can't take these strategies that larger channels would have and apply them to a really small channel. It just doesn't really work that way. I haven't really found many videos that were very genuine in this. There are some out there that say, look, I've started this new channel, and this is how much I made, all this sort of stuff. But YouTube's not dumb, the algorithm isn't dumb, they still would have linked some stuff to it, so when they make a new channel, YouTube still knows it's them, they still get their algorithm boost and things like that, so it's really hard to like go off of some of those things. That means some of the advice is okay, but anyways, this video is about me rambling on about like all the things I've learned. I've talked to a lot of small YouTubers and I've been trying to help a few of them out. I'm no expert on it, but my YouTube channel here is sort of a fairly genuine experience because I don't do it for money. I don't really do it for fame or popularity or anything like that. I basically do it as a creative purpose, or like it's a purpose to be creative, like an outlet for me, and also to sort of meet people and talk to people, and it just kind of keeps life interesting here. So if you're new to the channel, what I'm in is I'm in a game called Way of the Hunter, which is, well, it's a gaming channel, and it established itself on this game. And basically it's a hunting channel. If you're new to the channel, you don't like hunting, there probably isn't going to be a whole lot hunting in it. It's mainly going to be a hiking simulator. I'm in it because it's kind of a comfort area for me to make a video, because I record my videos what I call live. It's not actually like live streaming, but pretty much I just kind of hit record and go. I don't do much fancy editing or anything like that. But anyways, I kind of digress on that, and what we're going to do is sort of jump right into the info. So if you're just catching on now, this is kind of a rambling channel sort of thing. So some people will treat it like a podcast and place the phone or whatever off to the side and sort of just listen. But it is a hunting game. There isn't going to be any gunshots or anything like that. It's not like a graphical game or anything like that. I brought this little crossbow in case I do encounter something, so it's nice and silent, anything like that. But anyways, so into basically the info, I should give some background on my channel here, I suppose. The channel's actually been open for 5 to 6 years, but I never really put any effort into it, any strong effort, till about 2 years ago or so. My experience with it has been pretty much like a research experiment kind of thing. I've looked into monetization, the algorithm, like how to grow the channel, things like thumbnails I got experience with, all sort of stuff. But it's all based on the small YouTube kind of perspective, and that's who I always talk to get different opinions, see what other people are doing, and sort of compare. And I bring that up because, like I was saying earlier, the strategies on a small channel are vastly different than like a larger channel who already has all the equipment, all this sort of experience. The algorithm still knows they're out there and what channels they make and things like that. So it's kind of hard to find a genuine experience on small channels. So that's what the goal is for. And the first topic I want to get into right now is sort of the money thing, because a lot of people want to make money off of YouTube, right? So it's not really like a hint or tip kind of thing. It's more just sort of talking about expectations of money in the YouTube world. Now, again, I'm not an expert. It's just sort of my experience with it and what I've learned. I do have knowledge to share, though. So the first thing you gotta do, obviously, is figure out what you want to make your channel about. It's highly advisable to make it about something that you enjoy, or are skilled at, of course. It sort of goes without saying. But like anything in life, the money you make off of YouTube, and this is specifically talking about ad revenue at the moment, is directly related to your skill set and what you're doing on the channel. So for an example, if you're a carpenter, and you're a really good carpenter, and you do it yourself or house or self-help carpentry videos, where you actually have a real life skill you're showing, your ad revenue is going to reflect that. Basically, if you're more rare, more uncommon, you have a skill that's like, you have some knowledge to share, your ad revenue is going to be higher. It's going to be higher than, say, a video game channel like this one. Video game channels make extremely low ad revenue. You can actually find this information out there. It's called RPM, is the basics what they use, how much dollars you make per 1,000 views on average. It's actually quite low, and the reason for that is because video games, of course, are relatively easy to make content on, and is a very low skill set. Now, there'll be some people like, oh, I'm a really great video game player, I have all this skills, but the problem is with video games, when it comes to skill set, is you're competing against, you know, every single, mostly male, 15-year-old, 40 or 50-year-old male on the planet that has a console or a computer. So you got to be in the top 0.00000 like 1% of skill to be like, to be able to entertain like with your skill at the video game. So what happens is if a gamer isn't super skilled, then they're more of an entertainer, which is basically where it comes to, because then it's, anyways, you get more ad revenue if you're a better entertainer. But you're still restricted. Like say if you're really good at entertaining but you're still playing a video game, you're still sort of restricted by the ad revenue, because it's governed about the people paying for the ads. What are the chances, what research says, how much, what are the chances of an audience member of a video game is to buy a product from an advertisement, and it's quite low. The companies out in the world believe that video gamers don't have any money. So, now, in a lot of cases, they do, depending on the game, right? But they kind of bulk it all together for the most part. But they'll see things like the carpentry video, the do-it-yourself is much more valuable to put ads on and to pay for clicks and things like that. So the rule of thumb is, if it's like a do-it-yourself or an educational video, that's where decent ad revenue is in. But the most ad revenue is in videos that are about making money. So you make money off of YouTube by making videos about making money on YouTube. So we're talking about credit card companies and loans and banks and things like that. So basically how the world works, which is why you stumble upon a bunch of videos about telling you the secrets of YouTube and how to make money on YouTube, and you do all these 20 easy steps to make a YouTube channel, because they're all classified as money-making videos, how to make money. The ad revenue is very high on them, and even if they've started a brand new channel to show off how to do it, YouTube still knows who they are, and they're still getting algorithm boosts and all this, and they still have, like I was saying, they still have all the equipment, they still have all the skill set and how to produce it. I'm talking about, my advice is going to be aiming at the smaller channel. Still, learning the skill set and don't have a bunch of the equipment. But I wanted to start on the money thing because when you're making a YouTube channel, you sort of want to have in your back of your mind, if you're going to end up trying to make money off of the thing, you got to have your expectations. If it's video games, you're going to have a real hard time with ad revenue. It's so just so you know, you can look up these numbers, but on a video game genre, doesn't matter the video game. I think they just blanket it. YouTube knows it's if you're doing a video game or not. The algorithm's very smart. It's $5 US per 1,000 views on average. It can go higher if you have like really good solid clicks. So say my reviews, say my little Way of the Hunter videos here. It has a good solid base and it has really good retention to it, so it typically goes higher than that on the RPM. But if I do another game or something like that, it's usually lower. It all depends. Basically, if someone clicks on your video and stays for the whole thing or has good retention on it, your RPM will be higher, so, you know, the money per 1,000 views. If they don't stick around, it'll be lower, so that's why it kind of fluctuates. The numbers vary out there. I think it goes up to about $20 per 1,000 views or something like that. That's on those money-making ones, you know, doing video on credit cards or whatnot. But my biggest advice there is, if you're trying to eventually do YouTube for money, the money's not in the ads. It's in connections you make. It's in, you can go different routes with it. You can go with branding, right? You become so popular and so entertaining. This is mainly for the entertainers, but that's, I mean, it all falls underneath entertainment, really. But I mean, like, well, it's kind of all over the place, right? But then, you know, if you have like you know what I'm talking about, you have a big brand, you can sell coffee mugs and t-shirts and everything like that, right? But usually that's still kind of side money. It all depends on how big you are, right? But the money is not in the ad revenue. It is, it's all in the outside stuff. So you have to kind of plan for that if that's what you're trying to do. Especially if you're doing like a video game thing. It is not in the ads. It would be in branding, like I was saying, but it would be in Patreon. It would be in what's called monetizing your viewers, so the donations, the super chats, things like that. It's to do with sponsorships, which is why you see all these videos all the time, with ads running right in the middle of them. For I clicked on this one guy's ad. I think it was a mobile internet or like a mobile game thing. His video was 8 minutes long, and like 4 or 5 minutes of it was his advertisement. Like when he did it took forever. Anyways, oh, I thought there was animals. Just rocks. I might not see any animals here. But anywho, it's in sponsorship, it's in affiliation, things like that. So I've been playing around with a bunch. I've never actually been sponsored, so I don't have experience in that one. I now have an affiliation, so I'm sort of checking that out. You know, like click on the affiliate link and all that sort of stuff. Just so I learn that sort of thing. But that's where the money lies. It's not in the ad revenue. I mean, people watching this video are going to have different knowledge kind of all over the place. This scenery is not really very exciting to look at, so maybe I'll turn kind of this way. Like, some of this might seem obvious to some people, and some of it may not. A lot of people think YouTube's got, you know, YouTube's where the money is, and there's all sorts of money, you know, in YouTube or whatever, but no, not especially in video games. Like, the ad revenue just isn't there. Oh, just as a side fact, video games isn't actually the lowest ad revenue generating category. Guess what? Guess which one is? At least I'm fairly certain it is the lowest. The ASMR videos, you know, ones that like put you to sleep. Because surprise, surprise, no one buys from advertisements or pays attention to advertisements when they're being put to sleep, right? So you'll see, you know, the category of ASMR has become hugely popular, and you'll see, you know, all sorts of different strategies, you know, in that kind of field. But if the algorithm sees them as ASMR, they're going to be paid ad revenue rate for ASMR, and they need a whole lot of views to sort of make ad revenue off of that. So now that's a category I'm not too familiar with. I just seen some of the numbers, and I thought it was sort of interesting. So I am going to get into the hints and tips, just so you know. Well, when you click on it, you're going to see how long the video is, because I don't even know how long the video is going to be. But it is a ramble. It's going to take a while for me to get through it. That's mean if you're a normal viewer to the channel, I'm not really doing hunting. I'm just doing a hiking simulator. I mean, if I see something, I will grab it, but there's not really anything in view here. So yeah, it's mainly a hiking simulator. But I'll get into like the more specifics here now. I wanted to get the money out of the way, because that is like probably the #1 question out there, right? And so I hope I gave some info that may help. in that kind of thing. But even getting the money out of the way, like the topic of it, when you're starting a channel, I wouldn't even think about it too much. You want to know what you want to, you know, what your goals are, so you know how much time to be putting into this sort of thing. Because the first year, you're not going to make anything. You're going to be working entirely free, unless you're like a one-hit sensation there. Then you know you just boom out of the gate or something like that. Most likely, you're going to have an extremely painful crawl up the subscriber number list, and you're going to have to work tons and tons, and you won't be monetized, and you won't be making any money. So just kind of be ready for that. So I wouldn't, you know, I would do it for, I would be doing it for what you enjoy doing, and not focus on the money. Just, I bring it up just so you know that you should kind of plan for it, or at least be aware, because if you've just heard these numbers now and we're not familiar with them, you might not even want to try, because if it's just ad revenue you're looking for and you're into video games, you're gonna have a really hard time, you know, making a job of it. Like, really hard time. Like we're talking, I did some numbers, but it varies depending on what I was saying, like your RPM and things like that is. But I mean, if to try and make, you know, in my area, like say a part-time job, 20 hours a week, you know, like minimum wage, you know, like a grocery store or something like that, and with 20 hours a week, depending on your RPM, I mean, if I base it off my RPM, it depends, because I'm a little higher than average Elliot Hunter, but you're still looking at 100,000 to 150,000 views a month, and these are solid good views, so your RPM is good, not just people clicking and going away, to reach like a part-time minimum wage job, like 100,000, 150,000, something like that. And just to put it in perspective, if I busted my butt with, say, Way of the Hunter here, and you know, I went right for it, I probably pull 2,000 a week, 2,000 views. Not in money, views. 2,000 views a week. So that's, you're only looking at like 8,000 views a month, right? And you need like 100,000, 150,000 just to hit this minimum wage part-time job. Like, it's not even anywhere close. And you think, oh, just get more views. Well, no, it's not that easy. I mean, there are like a lot of strategies, but that's, I mean, if you're thinking of exploding right out of the gate, I mean, that just doesn't, you know, that's a very small percentage of channels that actually pull that off or do that. And then sometimes it's even questionable with how they do that, right? There's all sorts of different systems out there. So I've been going on 18 minutes already. I don't even know if I helped anybody yet. But that is basically the money thing. Money's in sponsorships and the outside monetization stuff. So be ready for that. I've only dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of it here and there just to gain experience in it and just like to see. That's me. I've done most. I haven't sold merchandise because I'm not interested. I don't have, you know, what am I going to do? Put a Bumbleroot thing on a t-shirt or something like that. But I have experimented in different things. Like, but anyways, I won't get into too much on that. But yeah, anyways, so for specifics here. So let's see now. Starting a channel, how the algorithm works. Now you're gonna get you get all sorts of answers on this one. People will say they know how the algorithm works. People will say they know how to make a viral video. They'll say this person knows how to do it. They'll do a viral video. Well, there are some fairly genuine people out there that are highly successful in it. And they will tell you, even though they've had several viral videos, they cannot make a viral video. They have, no, it's, if they could make a viral video every time, they'd be doing it. And just, you know, they would do it every time if they knew exactly how to do it. You know, if they're already a big established channel and anything like that, they have an easier time of it. But you know, things like that. Like channels trying to give advice for things like that, and they say it's mostly nonsense for the most part. And this is coming from someone who has done one viral video, a short. So that's, I mean, I've done, you know, the video, like the channel's approaching 10,000 subscribers. It's been monetized for a while. I've dabbled in a few different things. I've managed a viral one thing. It's at 5 million views. So I do have experience here and there on this sort of thing. But I mean, I kind of looked into that and researched that kind of category of things. That's, I mean, if you're getting all these tip videos and things like that, it does. Yeah, most of it's baloney. When it comes to like the algorithm and understanding it, if you're a massive channel like say Mr. Beast or something like that, now he probably does know how the algorithm works, but it's only from a perspective of massive numbers, because the algorithms are going to work entirely different for like a massive channel as compared to small channel. It's completely different, and that's where sort of I want to try and get into, because I don't see any videos that help much on that one. So how the very starting channel thing, it kind of works. Well, the algorithm doesn't work at all on a starting channel. And you'll hear people, now I'm just talking about like a channel out of the gate. The algorithm is actually very, very good once it gets going. And it gets good and gets going once it gets information on your channel. All right, when you start a new channel, YouTube algorithm has no information on your channel at all. Okay, so the algorithm pretty much isn't working for you. It's sort of like, I don't know, it'll throw views out there just willy-nilly trying to find people, is basically what it does. So how it works is typically when you're starting another channel, unless your video somehow caught on. Anyways, this is working on the assumption that you're 99% of what's going to happen. Is the very first video you actually put out, though, algorithm, like the YouTube algorithm actually does give it a pretty good boost, because you're completely unknown. It knows you're a brand new channel, and it's like, oh, maybe this is the next star. It has no idea, so it'll be like, okay, we will throw your video out there. It's called sampling. It'll sample a little extra on your very first opening video. So make your first one a good one. It'll put an extra boost to it, because it has no idea who you are. You could be fantastic. So I'm certain that the algorithm gives that very first video on a new channel a boost, just because of what I've seen from other YouTubers and my experience myself and things like that. And then so say your first video does excellent, and you're like, oh wow, 10,000 views I opened with. Like, hey, that's great. Your next video will be 200. Well, you probably won't get 10,000, but you might get 1,000 or 2,000 or something like that, like to open up, maybe like 500, whatever. But then your second one, well, it kind of like it'll boost that one too, but then it'll kind of stabilize after the first video. So it's gonna probably plummet, and then all of a sudden you'll end up with 40 views or 30 views or 10 views or something like that, and your first video looked great. But I think YouTube does that, you know, to give you that push to get you going and give you the enthusiasm, right? But man, it drops off pretty fast. Now again, this is just generally speaking. So because after that original boost is gone, then it relies on normal algorithm stuff and trying to learn. But it also gives you that boost off of the start to try to get information, right? And how it does that is it sees who watches your video, and then it sees who or what videos they watched, and then it tries to find links, tries to find connections. So I'll try to give you some example, because this is how a healthy channel is created, like a healthy small channel is created, and it's all focused around a core, like a core group of people, of viewers, reliable viewers, and that's me. Like, I know I got my core. I recognize the names and the comments and everything like that. If they're watching and have made it this far in the video, because it's probably not what they're expecting, maybe. Well, see, I'm not labeling this video Way of the Hunter or like putting a logo on or anything. But it's all about that core, and that's where the algorithm gets all its information from, and that's where sort of it's where like a healthy YouTube channel comes from. So basically how that works is the best way to do is give you an example. So you need to establish a core, and then it links. And you'll know your channel is linked. It has enough information to sort of establish an informational foundation, because it actually shows this underneath like your YouTube, your page. You can actually go to a spot that says what viewers of your channel, what else they've watched, what other subscribers they watch. You'll start getting information about other channels, sort of connected to yours, so you can sort of see and compare, you know, see what your viewers are watching. But that's when it's got information. And I'll use Flinter, for example, in this one, because he's one of the biggest names in this sort of genre. Because I'm connected to his channel. But not anything I've done or anything he's done or anything. The algorithm's connected it. And I know that because I will go in there and it will say my viewers also watched Flinter's viewers and things like that. So it has information. So I'll take some, you know, examples. I'll name some guys from some of my regulars here. So we'll go with Norm. You can't go wrong with Norm. Norm, he's an awesome guy. He's in the Way of the Hunter community. He's like a staple of it now. Always good to have a comment from Norm and discussion with Norm. But so I'll use him as an example. So say Norm watches my video, and he's watching all my Way of the Hunter ones, which he almost probably always does by the looks of his comments. Well, the algorithm will say, oh wow, Norm is extremely reliable with watching Bumble's Way of the Hunter content. So whenever I make a video, it will go to Norm's like recommended list, probably right on the top. And then what it'll also do is it'll say, what else does Norm watch? What else does Norm watch? And you'll see, Norm watches maybe Flinter, or so-and-so, or this one, or this one. And it connects them. Well, it'll take my example of Norm, and then it will do that for every single person, every single viewer that's, you know, that's fairly like regular to the channel and viewer. And then it'll try and connect. So say a long-time subscriber, Drew. He's been around for like probably, I think, in the first 100 subscribers or something like that. Say it looks at Drew and says, oh, Drew also watches Flinter. All right, so if you make enough like connections like that, YouTube will go like, wow, a lot of people that watch Flinter also sort of find Bumble's videos good. So what it'll do then is it will recommend my videos after, say, Flinter's videos, like in like a recommended thing. So you see how sort of the connection's made, and it does that through information like that, through what other people are watching, but the base of it is through like that core group. And that is what I would say is your goal as a small channel, to get a core group that likes your stuff and is, you know, it doesn't have to watch everything, and it doesn't have to be like 100% watch or whatever. Even if it's often, or, you know, even if they just swing by once in a while, as long as there's regulars that come back, that's when your channel starts to get healthy. Sort of what I've learned, because an algorithm now has that base to work off of, to be able to find other viewers. So as I was saying with the Flinter example, once I have enough people that watch my stuff and Flinter stuff, and it's like, oh, there's a connection there, it's going to try to find similar people to, say, Norm, like my example there. So the algorithm now targets viewers of YouTube that are more likely to enjoy my stuff and stick around, or your stuff, or the channel you're trying to do. So I don't know how obvious this is for some people. I don't know. I don't think, like, it might seem obvious now that I brought it up, but I'm not too sure a lot of people that start YouTube channels kind of realize that. I didn't when I started. I didn't understand exactly how important that connection was. That core group of people is extremely important, and basically your channel is only as healthy as that core group. So the larger core there is, the more healthy your channel is, and the more base views you'll get. So my core usually stays about the same. I don't really establish too many like core members anymore. I do, but even core members go away though. So remember, everybody's coming and going. But my core group number usually, nothing ever tells you what it is. Mine all comes from comments and just noticing who's around and who watches what and things like that. But I can sort of tell with what I've learned with like how to expect views to come in and things like that. A lot of it's based off of that core number. So usually mine stays about the same. For my channel, I'm not really too concerned about it. The channel's not a moneymaker, and it's not really concerned with too much growth anymore, and things like that. I know it's like a taboo thing to say in like YouTube world, but that's just kind of where it is. That's how you know this is genuine information. I'm just trying to help like one person, if there's one person out there that this can help. So when you're starting, you're trying to find this core group of people. Now, how do you do that is the next question, right? So when I started, I didn't know how to do that either. I wonder if I can actually find something. I know there's chamois there. Maybe we'll sneak up to them. Actually do some hunting in half an hour in. But the question is how to find that core group. Well, I only really have one strategy on how to do it. So I'll tell you how I did it. And that was with this game. You have to work really hard, though, for it. And you also have to have something to offer. But you kind of go in blind. So what I did is this game came out, and I'm like, okay, when a new game comes out, it gets a lot of attention. There's a downside to that, though. When a new game comes out, it gets flooded with YouTube. All the big guys come over and they do a video on it, and your video can't be found throughout all the big stuff. So there's a big downside to that, to trying to do something that's in the news. But I decided to give it a whirl. But I knew I was going to get smothered with, like, in the search and stuff like that. Like, just wasn't going to be found. And that's usually a lot of people burn out, just because they can't get into the algorithm. They can't get to that part where they get, like, a core group of people, and then YouTube can get information from it and build the algorithm and and the channel can actually start to grow. So they get frustrated before they get to that part. So this is where you'll hear the strategy of consistency. Now that is a valid piece of advice, not fully for what people say it is. The consistency is important, and okay, it's just important. In some areas, it's not as important as people think it is, but it is important. But it is really important in getting started. Not so much as to be reliable, like to be expected, like in people's viewing, things like that. Viewers are typically fairly flexible, as you know, they'll watch your stuff when they have time to do it. People think they need to be consistent so people know to expect your video at this hour and this day. Well, unless you're really big, no one's really waiting for it. So that's where the consistency advice doesn't work. Consistency is more... The most important thing about consistency when you're starting is here. I'll give you an example. So my plan, I didn't know if it was going to work or not, but I knew I had to break through the algorithm, get linked to this game in the search algorithm, because it has no information on me. There's no way for YouTube to recommend my stuff. So I knew there was no information out there. So my only way, look at this chamois sitting by himself. The only way for me to break into the algorithm was, somehow to find viewers. And my strategy was to be consistent, but heavily consistent with Way of the Hunter videos. So what I did was I made a one video a day on Way of the Hunter for a month straight. When it came out, I might have did 2 months. I can't actually remember now. But I did a video every single day. And the quality wasn't even that high. But I wasn't looking for, like, massive numbers or whatever. I was just trying to see, if I could become part of the Way of the Hunter community. If I could, find anybody that liked the videos. stuff like that. But I did that because I had to break into the search algorithm, because there is no other algorithm in YouTube that you can really control except for the search one. But you can't really control it either, other than be persistently hitting the search thing. So how this works is someone comes in and they're like, I want to watch a Way of the Hunter video. They will watch all the stuff that's in the recommended. If they're, really liking the game and it's new, they will search out. They'll go to the search and type in Way of the Hunter. So you do that, you still get the same results. You still get, like, the big names. Things like that. And, right, you'll still get the same results. So I'll be, like, video number 100 down in the search results, right? So you're like, Bumble, how does that help? Well, it doesn't really, unless you're consistently every day. Because what happens is, say you do it for a month, the first week, the videos are just flooding YouTube. But you've got to be making videos all through that first week. So YouTube is still learning and saying, and you're still going to be finding some people. And YouTube is saying, oh wow, Way of the Hunter, video this day, Way of the Hunter this video, or video this day, Way of the Hunter, Way of the Hunter, Way of the Hunter. It goes, okay, YouTube's going to start associating this video, or this channel, with Way of the Hunter in the videos. Okay, so it's just a small association, but you got to be doing it every single day, even if you're not being found in a search thing. But what happens is the excitement for Way of the Hunter or a new game starts to die down, obviously, right? That's not a new thing. Channels just come for the excitement, get the clicks for the money, and then go away. If you're there for the long haul and you're not there for the money, right, you're just trying to build your channel, you keep going. Because what happens is the heat or the excitement for the channel will die down. And what happens is, by the third week, all the big names are no longer making videos for Way of the Hunter. It'll start happening in the second week, of course, but the third week. But what you're doing is you're still making a video every single day. And so what'll happen is, in the search results, say you're into the third week, and there's still people out there loving the game, still people finding the game, still people wanting more Way of the Hunter content to view. And just noticed the wind was going that way. Darn it. But they're going to be, there's still going to be viewership out there, and they won't be able to, they'll run out of content to watch. So they'll do the search, and you'll end up landing on some days where there are no videos made that day, or not very many. There'll be fewer. So you'll start climbing up the list in the search simply because there's no other choices to watch, right? And if your stuff is entertaining enough, you'll start to break through the search algorithm, because people will start finding you because your stuff is there every single day, and you're being watched, or you're being found, just because there's no other choice. As rough as it is to say, but that's how you kind of have to get through there. And then they will watch your stuff, and if they like it, then it's like, oh, then they'll subscribe, then they'll keep watching, right? So that's one way to use the search algorithm to start. That's how I found a core to start, is I sort of broke through the search algorithm, mainly being consistent and persistent, and I would land on, I would have a video every day, so when those quiet days happened, I would still have stuff there for people to watch, and they would find it, they would subscribe, and then they would reverse and watch some of the older videos. And so what that did was, even if most of them didn't stick around, it still gave the algorithm information, and some of them did stick around, and then I got a core group of people that way. So I might have did it for 2 months or something like that. So you really go after the search algorithm, and then you build that core base, and then YouTube goes, okay, this is a Way of the Hunter content creator, and then he has all these Way of the Hunter viewers now, or a few of them, right? A couple dozen or something like that. And then he can start connecting. And then you start growing on your own, because the algorithm can now target a recommended video more accurately. So that's how, so there's a straight piece of info, like a strategy you can use to get rolling. Because I've talked to small YouTube channels that just cannot get through. Like, cannot get that base. So if they go to their YouTube channel spot and they click to see what channels their viewers are watching, they get nothing. And that means YouTube has no info on them, and they can't get over that sort of hurdle stuff. And that's sort of how you do it, or one strategy to do it. That's how I did it. The catch, though, is, well, you have to have, there's no way around it. You have to have stuff that people want to watch, or at least enough that, you can get a dozen or so people that want to watch your stuff. If you're struggling, and you are doing that, then you really have to sort of revisit, though, how your videos are and things like that. So some that I've spoken to that cannot get established after a long time they're not necessarily like doing poor videos or anything like that, but they're not doing like the consistency thing to sort of break through. They're doing a lot of work into their videos, but they're only putting out 1 or 2 a week, or 1 a week or something like that, and it's not enough to be found. You really need to go at it. So that's where I do the quantity over quality thing, but that's all subjective too, right? Anyways, that's the strategy I used, and I came to that strategy myself. I didn't actually understand most of that at the time. I'm just gonna keep chasing these guys by pushing them until they run out of space, and then I don't even know if there's anyone to... Oh, there's a 5-star in my video that's not even about Way of the Hunter. Interesting. I might have to come back and get him on an actual video. That's actually really rare to find one of those. Well, we'll keep chasing them in here anyways. Where am I on the map? Alright, I'll see if I can find him later. Alright, what else should we talk about? 42 minutes in. Oh no, I'm not done yet. Alright, what did I do next? A lot of it sort of stayed the same from there on. I went to every other day Way of the Hunter videos. Just because if you're trying to do something daily, you lose your mind. But yeah, I think I went every other day. There's the thumbnail talk I could touch on, I guess. Thumbnails don't matter anywhere near as much as you may think they do, if it's a small channel. They can mean a lot, but they mean nothing if YouTube's not recommending your videos out there. If no one's seeing your thumbnail doesn't matter. So it still comes down to YouTube having information and having your video recommended. Your views come from YouTube recommending them, and I hear people grumbling about, oh, the algorithm doesn't make any sense, it doesn't work, things like that. No, the YouTube algorithm, it works, and it works well. If it can't find anybody for you, it's because you don't have an audience. It can't find the audience. Either it doesn't have enough information for it, or there just isn't one. I was surprised that I had an audience. It's a small one, but I was surprised that it existed, and it's enough for the algorithm to function. But the algorithm is very good. See, I don't get a whole lot of views. Because it's all based off of my core, the core size that watches it. And YouTube has tried its darndest, the algorithm, to grow my channel. And I'm not complaining, because it's sitting at a spot where I think is accurate in terms of my core. Like, I don't think there's very much viewership out there for my content at all. Other people will disagree. They'll say, oh no, I should be bigger than I am. I don't think so. I think it's a very niche thing and a very small group. So I think the algorithm worked. It actually found people to watch my videos, and it targeted the viewership well enough to find a core base out of tons of people that it would have had to sift through to try and find someone that would like the videos. Like if the algorithm actually found them, and the algorithm is what finds most people. So the algorithm is working. YouTube makes money from finding viewers for you. Now it has to prioritize, because it can't. It needs to give the higher money making videos more clicks, because that's how they make money. But it is constantly trying to find things for you, and it does work. I think it found basically where I am. I sort of think probably there's more. There always is more, like a core to be found. But you know, it is a competing thing, and you'll hear this thing about competing and stuff like that. You got to think of it a bit broader. You're not just competing in YouTube. You're competing for somebody's 10 minutes out of their 24-hour day. Like, you're competing with Netflix. You're competing with any kind of entertainment, like anything. You're competing for someone's time, and in a world where no one has any time. So you got to really think of it sort of that way. So, like, that's just me touching on the competition thing. People will say, "Oh, there's too many people doing this. Competition's too tough. Mine's not good enough." Well, okay, that's true. Like, if you know, if there's, you know, if you're doing fishing videos and, you know, there's 20 channels that are better doing fishing videos than you, it's going to be kind of challenging. So you do have to bring your own little unique thing to it. Mine's kind of rambling and science and all sorts of other stuff. And then, you know, you'll find, you know, if you're doing fishing videos, then you'll find, you know, the 1 out of 1,000 people that watch those fishing videos, one of them likes yours better than the other ones because of the one thing you do or the 2 things you do. And then the next 1,000 people check out your channel and you find another one. It kind of works like that. So that's kind of me touching on the competing thing. It's me kind of touching on the thumbnail thing. It's me, thumbnail only works if you're already being recommended. But I'm not going to get too much into thumbnails. Just make it nice and bright. You know. Anyways, I'm not going to be an expert in that little area. So that's that. Now, oh, here's another $1 million. Here's a $1 million tip coming up. If you made it this far into the video, here's a good one for you. I probably should have popped out of this one earlier. YouTube Shorts. All right, they don't make money, but they do something else for growing your channel. Here's something I learned, just from experience. Do YouTube Shorts. If you're a small channel and you want to pad your numbers, which is important, just, you know, for motivation and just for looks of the channel and stuff like that. Or if you're trying to get to like that 1,000 subscriber thing to try out monetization. YouTube Shorts. Do the shorts. It doesn't even matter if it's a super high quality short. And the reason I say that is YouTube Shorts are the normal YouTube algorithm on steroids. It's, I'm gonna have to come back for this star. Because I don't know where he went. And what is this thing? So basically, if you watch how the algorithm works on like your normal videos. Okay, here's some more information. See, 50 minutes in, I'm still gonna have good information here. When you release a long form video, you're going to get the first 48 hours is when the video is going to be sampled the most. If you're trying to find spacing for a video, the first 48 hours is the most important. It may not get sampled. When I say sampled, it means it throws it out to your recommended. Like, it recommends your videos with the information it has. It doesn't always do it within the first 24 hours, but it will do it within the 48 hours. Sometimes it does it immediately, sometimes not. My Way of the Hunters videos go out immediately and they get sampled immediately. But they only go so far because of the core thing. But say I did Helldivers videos. My Helldiver videos didn't get sampled till 12 hours after release, and it was consistent too. It was because there was too many Helldivers videos being sampled. It's too popular of a game. I'm too small, so it would delay the sampling of them. Things like that. You get to actually learn the sampling, and I tell you about this because the YouTube Shorts is the same system but much faster. It'll probably sample within 6 hours or something like that, and then it samples to a larger number, and because it's quick, right? So it's the same algorithm, but it'll give you more eyeballs. And the reason I say that is because look at YouTube Shorts as a way to advertise your channel. I wouldn't say, you know, try to build your channel on shorts. I wouldn't say certainly don't try to make money off of shorts. There's no money there. Unless you, anyways, I won't get into too much of that. But shorts is really, really not much money. However, they do have value in the fact... There's another question mark. They do have value in their ability to advertise your channel. Even if the short only gets 500 views, a lot of the times they'll get 1,000. If they're even moderately entertaining, you can get sampled out to 1,000. That's 1,000 eyeballs, even if most of them. So my rate, well, I discovered early on in the short, you know, when I started playing around the shorts, that my rate was 1 subscriber per 1,000 views of a short. So, out of 1,000 views, doesn't sound very good, right? But it's not that hard to get a short to 1,000 people. And it's not hard to make a short, like a YouTube short. And I was finding at about every 1,000 views or so, I would average 1 subscriber. I mean, that's a pretty reliable way to gain subscribers. I mean, when you're sitting at 100 subscribers and you want more, just make a short every single day. Make a short every day. It doesn't have to be phenomenal, doesn't have to be fantastically edited. All I do is I take a clip. I could take this clip right now and me jibber-jabbering. I mean, it's got to have some entertainment thing. But I would use it to advertise my channel. So I'm not trying to show off the game, really, or do anything. I was trying to... When I do a short, I try to show off what my channel might... You know, just what my channel is. And a part of it that someone might like. So... for example, my core base likes how genuine I am and how much I ramble and my personality or whatever, right? So I try to showcase my personality in like a short. You only get like 30 seconds. But I'll show me or doing something and that's unique in the game that, you know, I'll laugh at or something like that, which shows that it's a, you know, a fun video and this is something interesting. I would show like a shot on like an elk or something like that, and me like thinking about it and talking through it. Things like that. I mean, you're only aiming to find 1 person out of like the 1,000. Like, you're not trying to get everybody with a short. The short is like a shotgun spread. It goes to lots of people, and a lot of people won't like your stuff. So if you're looking at the likes and dislike buttons, you're gonna find that you get a lot of dislikes on your YouTube shorts. But that's not because they like really hate what you made. That's because people push dislike on YouTube shorts because they don't want to be recommended that stuff anymore. Not specifically from you, but I mean, my YouTube shorts will go out to people that don't like hunting or don't like, you know, that's, you know, so they're not going to watch these shorts, right? But that's how broad it goes out. So, well, this is going to be that 5-star. I probably am going to save it for another video though. But you can use the YouTube shorts for advertisement, like just to get more eyes on your channel, and it does indeed work. So for a while, I was making, geez, at my height, I was doing 3 videos a day, long form videos a day, like 3 different games. I did for a couple months, in 2 shorts a day. I had 5 uploads a day, and just everything's just exploding. It's just because sheer volume. But it's not like I'm just throwing out turds out there. Like, I'm working at it. Man, I spooked him. Like, I'm doing my normal thing. But I have a very minimalistic recording style and editing style and whatnot. So I'm able to punch them out pretty fast. But there's downsides to that, of course, as well. But anyways, if you get the shorts out there, you'll get a subscriber once in a while on them. Now, a YouTube short subscriber isn't a subscriber that really hangs around, because what happens, this is why I call it padding, is there's a thing, I think it depends on the generation or what, you know, demographic the short is hitting. So you know how people just push the like button? Well, they also, when they push the like button, they'll push the subscribe button. They do it they'll hit the subscribe button like they do the like button. Just to say they like the video. Like, they'll never visit your channel again, though. So that's why I say it's like padding numbers, because you'll find that in YouTube shorts. you'll find a whole bunch of subscribers that will never come visit your channel. So they're not really valuable subscribers, but they are good if you're trying to get to that 1,000 mark, just for like monetization or something like that. Yeah, there you go. That's actually, that is some of my better advice, actually, with the shorts, because a lot of people don't treat them that way. Advertise your channel. Don't go to try and get 1 million views on your short and try to be like super fantastic unique. Make a lot of them, like one a day or something on your stuff. And it doesn't have to be like the most exciting event that ever happened, because you're doing one a day. You're not going to have like phenomenal stuff, everything. But normally I can find one short a day where something funny happens or something silly happens on one of these hunts or things like that. And I just put that out there. And, oh yeah, you'll get, you know, when I said 1 subscriber for every 1,000, I got lots of shorts hit 20,000 views and stuff like that. Like, that's not a large number for a short. It is hard to, it is kind of challenging to get up into the tens of thousands. It's not so bad to hit 10,000 views on a short. 20,000 and above is challenging though, for me. But I mean, if I'm at 1 subscriber per 1,000 shorts on average, then that's 20 subscribers. For a short, that probably took me 5 minutes to make. Now again, it's not a super, like it's not like a high quality subscriber. I know it's kind of weird. Like all viewers are important, but again, it's a subscriber that's not going to come back around again, really. So it's for the most part. Now some do work. Like some go, oh, I found it because of a short, and then they came to the channel and subscribed, and they liked the long form. So that I've heard that before. So I don't want to insult anybody or anything like that, saying short subscribers are not good, but because it has worked, like I found people that do stick around for sure. But there is a lot that don't from the short stuff. So just be kind of prepared for that. So it is kind of padding, like subscriber numbers, but the more subscribers, it doesn't hurt to have more subscribers. And you don't get a whole lot of views from the subscriber feed, so that's why it's not like super duper important. But that's that. So what did I touch on there? Algorithm worked. Yeah, the YouTube shorts. That is actually one of my better pieces of advice. Is use the shorts just to highlight what your channel is. I'd use it just because if I start a new game, simply just to say, hey, this YouTuber is playing this game now. This new game came out, like Manor Lords. I'd make shorts on it, not because I thought that my stuff was like super fantastic, or like there was something really crazy that happened in the game. I would make one where I'm just having fun in the game, or something interesting happened, put the short out there, but half of the purpose is just put the short out there so it gets more eyeballs, and then it says basically, hey, look, there's another channel playing this game. And YouTube knows it's Manor Lord, so it will recommend it to other Manor Lord viewers, and it'll be like, oh, okay, and it'll find your channel and stuff like that. So, I mean, if you start a new game, make shorts on it, just so some people can see that, oh, there's this channel that exists that plays the game. So that's use it as advertisement for the channel. And I'm close to an hour. That's there's no hunting in the video. There could have been. Not really. Hiking simulator, so I can talk about all the knowledge I've learned. I'm trying to think what else there is now. That shorts one was a big one. That was fairly new to me. Well, there's the viral video talk, which I kind of touched on. No, that's a whole video on itself. So I got a short that went viral. 5 million views it's at now. I think it's hit 5 million now. I stopped looking at it. That's crazy. So, this would be a whole video on its own. Because that's the key to life. Is how to do a viral video, right? So I did analyze it, and I know why. Halfly. But I tried to repeat it, obviously, as an experiment. And the repeats, when I tried to do the strategy again, were successful as far as my shorts go, some of them. Because my YouTube shorts only average, I don't know what the average is. 2,000 views per short, because some only do 500. And some do 10,000, right? 5,000 or something. It probably averages at 1,000 or YouTube shorts. So the ones that I tried to repeat the viral video on, not like exactly, right? You know, I just used the same strategies. You know, they still did well. Like the shorts hit 20,000 or 40,000 or something like that, right? Like it was still really successful. But I was using the strategies of the 5 million view short. So I certainly don't have the answer for that. But that was quite the experience too, because holy smokes, did the YouTube analytics and channel just explode. That was a busy time. But I don't say that to brag. I just say that some of my info is good info because it led to this sort of stuff. And when I made that original short, the short is on a game that's, what was it, 14 years old? That Cabela's Big Game Hunter? And all I'm doing is fending off a bear that's running at me. But yeah, I won't get into too much. But when I made that short, I had no idea, right? I was just doing my normal thing. Exactly what I was describing. I was making it because it's an entertaining moment that shows my personality and shows what, you know, shows that I'm doing a hunting video game channel. That's it. It just took off like insane. Just, anyways. So yeah, that's why I bring that up. Because, throughout my, well, 2 years of really focusing on this. Oh yeah, no, it's been 2 years. I think. Maybe a little less, actually. Well, that's kind of what I've done. I've monetized the channel for a whole year. I've learned about the ad revenue. I've made connections with video game companies, so THQ Nordic, the publisher of this game, and NRG, Nine Rock Games, good connections there. I got to see some stuff behind the scenes. Some good opportunities there as well. That connected to Draco Games, Draco Entertainment, Winter Survival, which reached out to me to do early access for the game. That was exciting because I think that was the first developer to reach out to me. Then I played Helldivers 2, and I was trying that voice attack algorithm thing, and I had a developer of HCS, it's called, that does the voice packs for them. They reached out to me, and I did that, so that was exciting. And then I'm trying this AI stuff with the flight simulator, and they also sort of reached out to me in a way. And now I'm doing the affiliate program over there. So that's, I mean, I do it just because it kind of keeps life interesting. Sort of the path that you stumble upon when you do that. So that's sort of my experience there. Yeah, and the viral experience is still an experience to learn from and to go through. Trying to think, what else is there? I guess I'm over an hour. I should start wrapping it up, I suppose. Oh, there's probably more, which is too bad. I don't script this stuff, right? Of course, I just ramble it off. So I was trying to think of, I mean, if I didn't touch on something, then it's not as important as maybe you might think. And of course, I don't know everything, so this is just what I did. I mean, the strategy was sound. You know, find the core audience. Be consistent at the start there, so people can find you in the search. Use the YouTube Shorts as advertisement for your channel. What else? I guess that's all. I mean, there is going to be other things, but I just can't think of it right now. But I think that is really the base of it. Like, if I had to do it again, that I wouldn't have changed that strategy. I would do the shorts earlier. I didn't do YouTube Shorts early on. Yeah, if I was to come out the gate again with a video game channel, I would focus on one niche, one channel, or one thing, like Way of the Hunter, or, you know, if Ultimate Hunting comes out, you know, start a channel, focus just on that, one video every single day, and then I would do a short every single day as well. Just hit the search algorithm and find a core. so that YouTube gets information to recommend off of. The YouTube Shorts would build your subscriber base fast, and then the long form would establish a core, which would help you with recommendations and getting a healthy like core audience to grow off of, and then just repeat as long as you can do it. Really, if you could pick one game and do a short a day and a long form video every single day. I mean, okay, take Sunday off or something like that, if you have the time to do it, and just do it steady like that, most likely your channel will grow. And once you've established a core and YouTube has information on you, then you can start changing things. You can reduce and go to like every other day. Because once it has that information, you don't need to be fighting the search engine. You can start using the recommended instead, like relying on it. You do have one problem though. Like, you could have one problem, is if you're doing this, because I'm sure there's other strategies, but this is just what I would do again, because I think it would work for the most people. Daily uploads on one specific thing. I give it the game. I mean, if it's going to be fishing or something like that, you're going to have to do daily fishing videos. I don't know how you're going to do it, but, you know, something you can do daily. To break into the search algorithm. And then the YouTube Shorts. The problem is, though, is if the algorithm cannot find viewers, like, it will be trying, but I do have examples of small channels that cannot get established because they cannot get a core base. They have nobody returning, for the most part, and you can't grow if you don't get return, like regular return visitors or viewers. So if you run into that, that's an issue, because I have been helping people with sort of that thing. And my recommendation, because I don't want to tell people, you know, like, your style's not good or anything, because what do I know, right? People like all sorts of different things. They just need to find the people that like what they're doing. So my recommendation was to do the YouTube Shorts to try and get more eyeballs on the channel. But if you do run into that thing where you're doing consistent uploads and you're doing the short strategy, and no one's sticking around, there might not be anything you can do. Like, it is going to be a style thing. It could be a personality thing. It could be there is no interest in the content you're making. I mean, if you make videos on cleaning toilets, there might not be a viewership for it. I don't know, maybe there is. Right? Or if you're, if you're doing YouTube videos and you're being really fake and obnoxious, things like that. If you, I guess when it comes down to it, if you're doing a daily video on something that's at least a little interesting, and you're doing shorts to get eyeballs on your channel, and you're doing consistently, and if your channel cannot get stable with a core viewership, then the audience doesn't exist. Because after enough time, the YouTube algorithm will find people. Like, it will find. I was saying before with shorts, it would find me 1 out of 1,000. Like, it doesn't sound great, but I mean, I get a short 20,000. There's 20 subscribers, and then out of those subscribers, I might get 1 core follower. But I mean, after all this time, I probably only have, well, it depends on the game. I think I probably only have 50 people that watch Way of the Hunter. Like, consistently. It might not even be that high. Like, SnowRunner was probably 30 people. It's not big numbers. But you don't need big numbers on the regulars, because I'm just talking about the regular ones, because then you get occasional ones on top of that, and then the seldom ones and the new ones that go on top of that. So you don't need a whole lot. But if it, you can run into the situation where if the algorithm can't find the audience after a certain amount of time. I mean, if you do it for like 3 months and you can't stabilize, the audience isn't there. The algorithm's good enough, so you're gonna have to change it up if that's what happens. So, in my case, if the viewership wasn't there, it wasn't a big issue for me because I wasn't at the time. I was just experimenting and seeing. I don't know. I don't know what I would have did if it didn't catch on. I probably still would have be making stuff, but who knows anyways. Because I'm doing the flight sim stuff with that, and I don't have much viewership there, but I'm still going to do it because I enjoy it, so it's one of those things. Do what you enjoy. So I think I'll turn it off now. An hour and 10 minutes, oh my goodness, another big long ramble. Not as long as the other one. I'm hoping it helps someone, though, with some of the information. I think it's good information. To me, it's not... it's kind of obvious to me now, but the problem is I don't know how obvious it would be to other people, some of the info. Some of it people might know, some of it not. I really think that short information, like YouTube Shorts to advertise your channel, I don't think it's thought about that way very widely in it. I think people make the YouTube Short to try and get it viral. Like, that's the reason they make the YouTube Short, to get as many views as possible, which makes sense. But it's different. It's different if you approach YouTube Short as an advertisement for the channel, when you're just trying to find that one person that might like it, instead of trying to go out, because then you'll make other, like, these shorts different. Like, you'll make the YouTube Short that, like, shows your personality a bit more, or shows that this is how your videos are, or something like that. Instead of trying to chase the million views, you're only chasing, you know, trying to find the 1 or 2 people. So I think that's probably one of my better advices here, or piece of advice. Oh, I get my little ticket. There we go, Matariki Bark. 2 cents. Some kind of volcano-y, cratery thing? Okay. Alright, well, we'll turn it off now, because I'm gonna have to do a video where I chase down this 5-star tar. Oh, if you made it this far, thanks very much for watching. I'm not going to be one of those YouTube videos that's like and subscribe thingy, because, well, you already know all about it. And you don't have to worry about subscribing. I'm going to get the 10,000 mark by the end of the summer. And then I don't need to get any bigger. It'll still grow. This is one of those things. Okay, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. Good luck with your YouTube channel if you try it. Let me know if it helped. See you later.